Sports Podcast, episode 234. Nick Quaglia, Jared Scali. Guys, we have the Patriots in first place. Did we think that was going to happen?
It's porn. It's great. It's so beautiful.
Did we think that this was going to happen at the start of the season?
Guys, the Patriots
we had question marks about who the quarterback was going to be. And now one of those quarterbacks is back with his former team. Shout out Cam Newton. I hope you have success there, pal.
Had a good game.
I hope you have success.
Against the Washington football team.
He did, but I had a feeling Washington was gonna win that game. But of course, I don't bet that one. You know how hard it was to watch that.
I gotta stop betting with you.
Don't bet with me. It's terrible. I'm terrible.
I gotta stop.
Don't bet with me.
No.
Oh my God, that Aaron Rodgers. I thought Aaron Rodgers was going to torch Minnesota. First of all,
yeah, the 1.5 line for the Packers was a no-brainer. It
seemed like it.
It shouldn't have been an issue.
And anytime there's a no-brainer, it loses. Did you see how the game ended?
Yeah, stupid.
The last drive, it looked like they had the interception. I was celebrating. I was like, "Great, Mason Crosby go down, kick a field goal, game over. You
cover
win
that.
the bet."
Yeah.
And they fucking overturned it. And the second they overturned it, I was with a group of people. I was like,
"It's over."
There's no way I win this bet now.
Nope,
no chance.
Yep.
Minnesota's going to keep going downfield. They're going to win. They're going to score.
Yep.
It's what they did.
Yep.
And like even last night, like I was close. I texted you. I was close to betting the Giants minus 11.5 because I was like, prime time. There's no way that the Giants don't cover 11.5 points. And I think Tom up to that point he was 0-11 at that point.
I just ignored you. Oh, I got the text. I'm like, this isn't a good idea.
He was Tom was 0-11.
Nope.
0-11 in his last 11 primetime games against the spread.
Not a good idea.
No.
You know what's still looking good though? My over 9 wins for the Patriots on the season for like that. I bet like preseason.
So there we go.
We're coming to that.
Heavy Patriots show. We might sprinkle in a little Red Sox. Because the Patriots are the story right now. I don't want to bore anybody with some storylines. I mean, the Bruins are doing solid. Like they're doing good. Yeah, just very.
Celtics are
Celtics have won 8 of their past 11, but it's the Boston Celtics, guys. And listen, no matter how good they play, I'm at the point now where I'm a bitter Celtics fan. I don't trust anything that they're going to do.
Like I watch them. Like I watch almost every Celtics game because I'm that big of a fan. But like. They beat the Lakers. I'm like, great. LeBron was the first game back. Like, I basically am trying to find excuses why not to be happy because this team has been so ridiculous and they have a new coach and Tatum and Brown's going to help and it's just all this stuff that I don't even care. Like, just let's talk about Patriots and the Red Sox. That's it. It's all on my radar. Can
I mention this? I thought Udoka was going to have much more of an impact than he has.
You can tell he's very reserved and he's very quiet. And I think I'm just used to partially because even for Brad Stevens' sake, like when the call was wrong, he would yell, he'd kick and scream, and still, even though he was quiet, Ime has had an effect in some capacity. But I think everyone's playing better. They're all getting healthy. I think Al Horford has had a bigger impact than Ime Udoka has. But Ime Udoka is also a first-year coach. Addition. Like I don't know what everyone's expecting from Ime. Like he's a first-year head coach with 2 stars who clearly are superstars, right? So he doesn't want to step on toes because this guy is known as a player's coach. So if this guy comes in year 1, has been this player coach as an assistant and his boys with Tatum, and then comes in and just runs the show and hits him they're all going to tune him out and he's going to get fired. So like he's being careful right now. You can tell it.
Okay, but that's the thing. Like at this point, like they won in 2008, and then what year was it before that? I mean, I'm tired of just
86. Yep.
I'm so tired of the excuses with this team. It's been for years.
Then you have the Lakers winning more and more every year. If you count the Lakers championships that they won in Minnesota, then they're tied with you, right, all time. And you're not even close to winning another one.
No, you're not. And that's the point that I'm at with this team. Like, hey, if they win the championship, great. Prove me wrong. I know what this team does now every year. They might go to the Eastern Conference Finals. They're not going to win the Eastern Conference Finals. And if they do, they're not going to win the finals. But we haven't seen them in the final. When's the last time we saw them in the finals?
Last year, KG was there.
Right.
And Pierce.
And correct me if I'm wrong. Since 2015, all we've heard is they're a superstar away. They're a superstar
and everyone
away.
and all those defenses. I don't know why we got in the Celtics conversation, but they had it. It just didn't work. Like
They did.
They had Kyrie, they had Gordon Hayward, they had Al Horford as the pieces to win a championship, and then you had Tatum and Brown on that team still, right? As those younger pieces that can learn, be good roles off the bench, and then take over the team when those guys are gone. Like Danny put together a championship team. He just put the top of the pedestal a psychopath who now just isn't playing at all. Like Danny just took a risk on a crazy guy who thinks the earth's flat. Like that was the problem. And then Gordon Hayward didn't work because he got hurt. Like Danny put together a team that on paper was a championship team and ready to dominate the East. It just didn't work out.
Right, but that's what I mean. Like it's the Celtics, I just don't have faith in winning. But regardless, let's talk about a team that is winning. The New England Patriots.
5 in a row.
5 in a row. They've strung together some impressive wins. You know, the next big test this weekend is the Tennessee Titans, the number one seed. So we're going to talk about that. The number one seed. So as the standings sit today, and everybody, of course, on Sunday, Patriots fans were Colts fans. The Colts playing the Bills. The Colts slaughter the Bills with Jonathan Taylor putting up 5 touchdowns. 5 touchdowns from Jonathan Taylor. The Colts look good. Their defense looks good. They've got a great offensive line. Losing Quentin Nelson could be a big problem for them. But regardless, they've got a really good offensive line. They've got the best running back in football right now, with Derrick Henry down. The best running back in football, putting up 5 touchdowns. Carson Wentz, who's playing, he's not playing great, but he's not playing badly enough to lose. You know, he's crazy.
I mean, Carson Wentz is putting up good fantasy points for me. Tell you, he's been really good fantasy-wise.
I had him the year I almost went back-to-back in fantasy football, and then he tore his ACL diving into the end zone because he's a lunatic and just gives up his body on every play. Current standings: Titans 8-3, Ravens 7-3, Patriots back on top of the AFC East 7-4, Chiefs 7-4, Bengals 6-4 wild card. Other wild card: Chargers 6-4, who look to be getting their spark back too. Justin Herbert. The Chargers are very lucky to have Justin Herbert as their quarterback for the next however many years. Kid is good. And then the Bills, third wild card spot, 6-4. Here's my question. Let's talk about this Titans game first.
Yeah.
Patriots playing the Titans this Sunday, 1:00. I'll tell you this. I think the Titans are frauds.
I agree.
I don't think the Titans are that good of a team. Without Derrick Henry, I don't think they're that good of a team.
The Titans are Derrick Henry. So if you take them out of the equation, I don't care if you're on the same offense. They just released Adrian Peterson today. That didn't work out. Like
they lost to the Texans this week.
They lost to the Texans this week. The Titans are frauds. Bill Belichick knows. How long did Bill Belichick play against Ryan Tannehill in the AFC East?
Twice a year for however many years.
Twice a year for however many years, right? Like, I get he's on a better team. It's still Ryan Tannehill. I'm more concerned about the damn Colts game than I am about this one.
The Colts are going to be a problem. So that got flexed to Saturday, December, whatever, primetime football, December 18th, 8:20 p.m. Great flex. Can't wait for that game. Saturday night. It's going to be
nothing
awesome.
Like Saturday night Patriots game. Prime time. You don't have to work the next day.
Oh, I love it.
Let's go. If they lose, you can drink your sorrows and sleep in. I can't because I got a kid. But, you know,
I will be.
Beautiful spot for a game. If you gamble the game, then you're able to kind of lick your wounds or celebrate your victories either way. Saturday night primetime NFL football, nothing like it.
No. So this game this weekend, you know, we talked a lot about after the Jets game specifically, they stomped out the Jets. We were like, okay, well, the next big game, the Chargers. Okay, the Chargers are a big measuring stick game. Patriots beat them. Looked like the Chargers were stumbling at that point, but the Chargers are a good football team. I still give that one a lot of merit. Then we said the Browns. The Browns seem to be stumbling. The Browns seem to be sucking. There's questions out whether or not Baker Mayfield is going to be their quarterback for the next however many years he's up for a contract. And listen, guys, Browns. Do you remember that list of quarterbacks that you had on the back of that shirt?
He's the best one.
Stick with Baker Mayfield.
Baker
Mayfield. Guys are having problems.
He's the best one, and he's not the problem here.
No, I don't know if he's as good as I thought he was, but I don't think he's the problem with this team.
Okay, but Alex Smith went to an NFC Championship game. I think you can win with Baker Mayfield.
I do too. I think it's a Browns institutional thing. That's all I think it is. I think the Browns are just they're a losing organization. That's their identity, and that's how they're going to work with it. You got to break your identity.
A good way to say this, right? Put Baker here. Baker would do really well in New England, right?
I think Baker would do great here.
Yeah, so he has the talent. Just got to give him a better situation.
Right. So we talked about the Baker Mayfield Browns game. Then they, Nick Chubb didn't play. Dearness Johnson played. Dearness Johnson put up 150 yards. So he basically put up Nick Chubb numbers. I don't give the Nick Chubb conversation any sort of merit there. They beat the Browns. The next big step is the Titans. And in regards to this, like if you beat the Titans, Jared, I'm going to be like, okay, good job. You won that game. I think you should win that game. I think they're minus 6 points right now.
I think I saw 6.5. I think I saw 6.5.
6.5, whatever it is. It's around that ballpark. So they're favorites to win this game. If you lose this game, I think that says a lot more than if you win the game.
You win the game, you should win the game, right? Like that's the storyline. If you lose the game, you're allowed to get bashed next week because you're riding a 5-game win streak. Your defense is hot. You just came off I don't care who it is. You just put up a clean sheet. You put up a 0 spot on Thursday Night Football against the Atlanta Falcons. And that's a big deal for the defense. They had takeaways. They forced turnovers. They did what they were supposed to do against a really bad team. And their defense has been good the last 4 weeks. And they'll give them a full week.
Their defense has been elite the past 4 weeks.
The best. They're the best scoring defense in the league as of right now. And they, by far, should win Sunday against the Titans. If you don't, that's when we can start to have a conversation about bashing you. Because if you win, you're supposed to. You're 6-point favorites for a reason, right? Like, you are the better team. I don't care what the records are. You should be 9-1 or whatever. You know what I mean? You shouldn't be 7-4. So what if they were 8-3? Then what would you say, right? If they had the same record as the Titans, then are we going to sit here and say, oh, well, the Titans are a better team? Nationally, I feel like the Titans are getting a lot more credit than they should be. But the Patriots, right? They're 7-4. Put them at 8-3. Now who are they saying is better because the records are the same, right? I think people take too much stock in the records when you just watch with your eyes. The Patriots right now are a better football team.
Right, and the Titans have some bad losses. The Titans lost to the Jets, guys. Remember that. One of the Jets' few wins is against the Titans. Now, one of the Dolphins' few wins is against the Patriots, but I think the Patriots...
And you almost lost to the Texans, right?
You did almost lose to the Texans. The Texans, not as bad as people originally thought with Tyrod Taylor.
But we also didn't play him with Tyrod.
Played Davis Mills. Played Davis Mills. So that's not good. But
not good.
The Patriots are ascending right now.
Yep.
Mac Jones, this guy doesn't look like a rookie.
No.
This guy doesn't look like a rookie.
Player. Yeah. From the head up, this dude's like a 5-10-year vet. Obviously, he's still making some mistakes, some throws, whatever it may be. This dude is figuring out the Patriots offense, running schemes, running decisions. He doesn't look like a rookie. And you know what? He doesn't even need to be a perfect player for this team to win because look what the defense is doing. Matt Judon, Kyle Van Noy. He just needs to be a game manager. The running backs between Damian Harris and Ramondre are killing it as a two-headed beast. The offensive line, we've talked about it, is starting to figure it out, right? Trent Brown is back, and he's figuring it out. Isaiah Wynn hasn't been as bad.
Trent Brown is a game changer for this offensive line.
He's so big. So big.
Did you see that picture next to Shaq Mason?
He's huge.
Trent Brown makes Shaq Mason look like a child, and Shaq Mason is 6'1", 3 whatever.
Yeah, and Trent Brown made him look like a pipsqueak.
Yeah.
Trent
Brown is massive.
So look, I look at this team and go, I honestly think your weakest link is Mac Jones. And that's saying something. And I'm not saying Mac Jones has been bad. He's been really good. But I think the weakest link is Mac Jones, and he's been really good.
The only reason he's considered the weak link is because he's a rookie, but he's not playing like a rookie.
No,
you're seeing rookie mistakes against the Falcons last Thursday. He made that dime of a throw to Hunter Henry, right? But then immediately following that, he throws a dumb rookie interception to Jonnu Smith. He shouldn't have made that throw. It was a bad throw, but again, he's a rookie. Mm-hmm. He minimizes those mistakes. You would see a lot of rookies make a lot more of those mistakes. He doesn't make those mistakes.
Look at Zach Wilson before he got hurt. How many interceptions that dude just randomly chucked up.
They're 4 against you.
Yeah.
He's winning you football games. He's helping you win football games. And the defense is playing so good, Jared. We'll pivot to this right here. I'm going to say it. They're Super Bowl contenders.
I genuinely think, step back for a second, the division, I saw their odds after this weekend, after everything. They're in first place right now, own their own destiny. And I think their division odds were still at 37%, compared to the Bills at 64%. and you play the Bills twice. Those games are going to decide. Those games are going to decide the division because you have 2 games against the Dolphins and the Jaguars left. Right? You have to end the season with those 2 teams. So like, and by then those teams are just going to be waiting off the offseason. So like, those 2 games are really going to decide this. I'm surprised their odds are as low as they are to win the division because honestly, at this point, the way the Bills look, I think the Patriots do win the division.
Vegas is probably giving the Bills better odds because the Bills proved it last year, and it's still a question mark with Mac Jones and with the Patriots if they can keep this up, which I think they can. You've got the greatest coach of all time, and as much shit that we give Josh McDaniels has been very good as of late. He's been calling very good games as of late. He just has. But this Patriots team right now, when you look at the AFC, and I think this is a big reason why they are legitimate Super Bowl contenders at this point. And I wouldn't say this if it was a regular year, but every single AFC team this year, there's not a 10-1 football team. There's not a 9-2 football team. Every single team in the AFC is very beatable this year. That includes the Chiefs, who I think are the scariest team in the AFC because I think the Chiefs can turn it on. But at the same time, you look at the Cowboys game this past weekend. Sure, they beat the Cowboys. Their defense looked great, but their offense still only scored 19 points.
Yep.
Every team in this AFC is beatable. I think honestly, I think the most beatable team out of the team, other than the Titans, I think the Ravens are very beatable.
Your top 2 seeds are probably the weakest of everyone. Because of what they've done. Yeah.
I think the Ravens are a very beatable football team overall.
If the Patriots win this weekend and the Ravens lose, you're the 1 seed. Like, you can very realistically be the 1 seed after this weekend, and then people will still say, "Well, Buffalo's better." Buffalo's better.
They're playing for the number 1 seed in the
they're
conference.
Playing for who are the Ravens playing this weekend? Are they playing?
Oh God, I don't know. Let me look it up.
Because look, Lamar Jackson is fine. He's good, whatever. But like, I look at the Patriots team and go, I'm just.
They're playing the Browns this weekend.
They're playing the Browns. Okay, so they probably don't
win. They should win.
They probably don't lose.
Is Lamar Jackson back this week?
I think so.
He was just sick. What was the sickness?
I don't know. It wasn't COVID though. That's what they said anyway. Probably was. People was lying about it. AB's getting fake COVID cards, so everyone's lying about it. The Patriots right now, I take them over almost anybody in the AFC. The way they're playing, right? Like the Bills game, not 2 weeks from yesterday, right? Like that Monday night game. I wouldn't be shocked if they go win that on the road because they've been so good on the road. Monday night prime time. Mac Jones was stellar in prime time against the Bucs and Brady when they were at home. It's not like Bills Mafia is like terrorizing when it comes to like, it's like it's a hostile place to play, but I don't think Mac Jones is not going to be able to handle it. Like, I think if everything, they probably win the game in Buffalo and lose the one at home. Like if they split it the way they've been playing on the road, right? They're such a good road team this year. I don't want to pick against them when they go on the road because that's just the identity right now.
I think they're going to split that. Now, before we keep going, guys, we're going to talk about our friends over at MANSCAPED, the wonderful sponsors of our show, the best in the game. Attention listeners across the galaxy, all the way from Australia to Houston, do we have a pew problem? If so, our friends at MANSCAPED have cleared you for takeoff with their 4th generation. Hey, in the past, listen, I got the Lawnmower 4.0 now. It's a game changer. Kick your pubes to the next planet with the Performance Package 4.0. The orbits in your pants will feel like you're in zero gravity when you use the best tools for the job from the leaders in male grooming. Join the 2 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped and get your rockets ready for takeoff by going to manscaped.com for 20% off with free shipping using the code CouchGuy20. Ready for an out-of-the-world experience? Look no further than the Performance Package 4.0 from Manscaped that has just taken off in not only the U.S., but Canada above us, the U.K., across Europe, Australia, South Africa, and Singapore. Inside the package, you'll find their Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, Weed Whacker, ear and nose hair trimmer, Crop Preserver ball deodorant, Crop Reviver toner, Performance boxer briefs, and a travel bag to hold your whole solar system. First scheduled for liftoff, new Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer. This spaceship is here to guide you on a journey to trim your body, balls, butt, and even Uranus. It's a whole ass planet. This fourth-generation trimmer also features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents. Thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology, the Lawnmower 4.0 has a 7,000 RPM motor, a new multi-function on and off switch that can engage a travel lock, and is even waterproof. The Lawnmower 4.0 also has a 4000K LED spotlight you can turn on and off when needed for a more precise shave throughout your travels across the universe. The Performance Package 4.0 also includes the Weed Whacker. It's like having a little astronaut to chop your worst weeds up, top, in your nose and ear. I have no idea if I read that right. The Weed Whacker is also waterproof and uses a 9,000 RPM motor powered 360-degree rotary dual blade system. This nose and ear hair trimmer provides proprietary skin-safe technology, which helps prevent nicks, snags, and tugs in those delicate holes. Don't forget to use the Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant and their Crop Reviver to help your little planets be on their A game. Feels like the sun's heat. Feeling like the sun's heat. Manscaped even threw in 2 free gifts to the Performance Package 4.0, the Manscaped Boxers and the Shed Travel Bag. Aboard Harry Balls and Buzz Lightyear, that Woody with Manscaped. Now listen up. Get 20% off with free shipping. Use the code CouchGuy20 at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping. Use the code CouchGuy20 at manscaped.com. Your dick and balls need some help. For a clean trinity and beyond, your space balls will thank you. Once again, use promo code CouchGuy20, CouchGuy20 at manscaped.com for 20% off with free shipping. All right.
Patriots are back.
Patriots are back. Look, now I kind of mentioned this earlier, so you kind of have my answer. Are the Patriots the most dangerous team in the AFC?
No.
Who
I
is?
still think the Chiefs are.
I
Like,
do too.
the way the Chiefs are playing, they're clearly starting to figure it out. Now,
Their defense is figuring it out, which is scary.
Do I start thinking the Patriots are too? Yes. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if Patriots Chiefs is an AFC championship game, right? Like the way things are going right now. Because Patrick Mahomes, the weapons he has. Look, I don't think it's an up year for them. I think it's a down year. I don't think they win a Super Bowl regardless. But I think right now it's still the Chiefs to conference because they're in the playoff picture. And as long as they're in, they'll do damage. So I don't think the Patriots are the most dangerous team, but I think they're right up there. And I'm done thinking they're just looking for a playoff spot. Like these guys have their eyes on a lot more. And look, at this point, if they get past the wild card weekend, they play division weekend, they get to that. Like that's a win for this team. Like I know we're all about championships in Boston, and I get it. The Patriots have won for 20 years, but with a rookie quarterback, the expectations this team had, if they get to the divisional round, lose a close game, or get to the AFC title game and lose, that's still a win for me. Only because no one really expected this early.
Right. And just to play devil's advocate, I already gave you my answer. I think it's the Chiefs too. The Chiefs defense figuring it out is scary to me.
That's because they've never had it. They've won so much and they've never had a defense.
The way that they shut down the Dallas Cowboys this past weekend.
I only take that for a grain of salt because the Cowboys always choke on themselves.
Yeah. And look, you said it last week. I said I thought the Cowboys were the best in football or something like that. And you calmed me down and you said, hey, the Cowboys, they do this. They'll fuck it up at the end somehow. And looks like they might be stumbling already.
Yeah.
Now, to play devil's advocate, though, Patriots defense the past few games, 7.6.0 points. That's the last 3 games. Okay. And before that, they beat the Chargers, who's got a high flying offense. Mm-hmm. And offensively, so the defense, they might be at the top right now. They might be getting better and better. If you listen to these guys talk, they think they're just going to get better from where they are, which should be scary for the other AFC teams.
They said out loud they're the nastiest, best team, but defense in the league.
Putting pressure on the quarterback. Do you remember what in the Super Bowl era with Tom Brady still on the team, the biggest frustration with this team was they just could not ever get fucking pressure on the quarterback.
No, Pat, they never pass rush after Chandler Jones left.
It was that bend don't break mentality, and it sucked to watch. It was so boring to watch. Yep. But now you've got guys who are pressuring the quarterback. Listen, Bill, the GM, say what you want about him. He hit this draft between Mac Jones, Ramondre Stevenson, and Christian Barmore.
And you traded up for Barmore. He had his eyes on him the whole time.
Barmore very likely will be in the Defensive Rookie of the Year conversation.
Should be. 100% should be. And all the veterans are like, this dude gets it. Like
he should be. Micah Parsons is going to win.
So good.
Micah Parsons Michael Parsons was the guy a lot of us were like, hey, maybe the Patriots can grab him in the draft.
Well,
at 15.
I think we all thought he was going to be there. He wasn't.
Yeah.
But he was expected to be there.
Right. But just looking around the offensive line, I mean, the defensive front, Christian Barmore, Kyle Van Noy has had a very solid resurgence. By the way, still being paid by the Miami Dolphins, which is hilarious.
What also I think people forget too is like he wasn't bad with the Dolphins. They just didn't.
No, he wasn't. Dolphins fans shoved him out. They shouldn't have.
No, he was good for them. Like he had a good year last year, but he's just getting more prominent here, and we all love him up here. So like, doesn't matter.
Right. That and that's also because like offensive lines have to be like, hey, this guy Matt Judon. You know, sometimes they pay guys big money and they stink. Not this guy.
No,
Matt Judon's got a great attitude, and
hates
he's
hates mac and cheese though.
Hates mac and cheese, which look sucks. Okay, sucks that mac and cheese doesn't suck. It sucks that Matt Judon has to think that, because you know that's a hit. You know that's a chop at him. As unfortunate as it is, that's a chop at him. I love Matt Judon.
I love me some mac and cheese.
Who doesn't? I didn't think anybody hated mac and cheese.
I mean, I don't like mac and cheese on Thanksgiving.
Oh my God, I'll eat it anytime.
I very much enjoy mac and cheese.
Oh my God. Listen, one box of, I also eat like a psycho. Like I gotta chill when I eat. I'm not one of those people that, like, if you give me a whole package of something, I'm gonna eat the whole fucking thing.
I am too. Like if you give me a box of Kraft, I'll eat it. You
give me a box of Cheez-Its, dude, I'm gonna
the whole box is gone.
Yeah. I can't control myself. I'm a fatty at heart. I mean, I'm chubby now. This is not really at heart. It's just my physical appearance.
It's your body.
Yeah. But you know, that sucks. And hey, Mac Jones, this Patriots team, get off track for a second. They've got some terrible Thanksgiving takes. Mac Jones hates pie.
Who doesn't like pie?
Any pie.
They're any pie at all. He's like, yeah, I don't like any of them.
Pie?
I'm like, you don't like any pies?
I don't not even chocolate pie?
I don't like chocolate pie. But like, I also like pumpkin pie. I'm an apple pie guy. Blueberry pie. Like, I like pie. How do you not like pie?
Apple pie is the greatest thing of all time.
I heated up apple pie with some vanilla ice cream on top, a little whipped cream or Cool Whip even, like depending on which way you fall. Up. Like that sounds like an orgasm in my mouth. Like that's what apple pie is.
And these guys are missing out on this. They don't like mac and cheese. They don't like apple pie, but they like winning football games.
But I will say this. I think we can all get past the pie thing with Mac Jones, because how many years did we go with Brady not liking strawberries and
that's true,
only drinking water and not drinking alcohol at all? Like, I think we can get past the pie thing with what we allowed Brady to do for 10 years.
Did you see? Oh, by the way, so they're talking about this on NBC Sports Boston. Our guy Phil A. Perry on the TV right now, and this is a good point. The one variable this weekend that the reason the Titans could win is Patriots ex Patriots, whether coaches be their players, whatever. They sometimes have some success against Bill, and Mike Vrabel is the coach. And we remember what happened in the 2019 playoffs.
That was the last time they played, right? That playoff game.
I think so. And the Titans handled the Patriots,
yep.
But that they also had Derrick Henry, and
they played against a Tom Brady that didn't want to be here anymore, with no weapons and a defense that wasn't good. Like that Patriots team was actually kind of probably frauds, to be honest with you. Like, that was the year they started 8-0 and then sucked. Like they were frauds that year.
Yeah. Yes, they were. That could be the only thing that could really derail this whole thing. But yeah, I mean, it's gonna be big this weekend, because it could be a big swing. The Patriots could be out of the playoffs, I think, if things fall right. If they lose this weekend, a bunch of other things happen. But they could also be the number 1 seed by the end of this weekend.
Interesting to see what happens. But this, I like Patriots win this weekend. I don't know about the Bills game before the bye week. I don't know. I'll tell you this: if the Patriots do lose that Bills game on Monday night, and then because they have the bye week right after, I don't think they lose anyway, because you're gonna have 2 weeks to prepare for the Colts. I don't think Bill loses with 2 weeks to prepare for the Colts.
Look, in all reality, I think the Patriots have a chance to win out.
If they win the game against the Titans, they only lose one more time.
Yeah, maybe.
No, because they'll probably split the Bills. I genuinely think they'll split the Bills.
I think they'll split the Bills too.
So if you split the Bills, I genuinely think that's your only loss. Like, I do think they win this weekend. The other games, you beat the Colts. Again, coming off a bye, you have 2 weeks to prepare for the Colts. You beat the Colts. and then you play the Jaguars and the Dolphins. Okay, sure. You lose if you lose one more time, you go 12-4, 12-5. Excuse me. You new amount of games. You go 12-5.
Look, hey, the other 31 fan bases. They were excited to watch the Patriots fall apart. They were licking their lips. They're like, oh,
suck it.
These motherfuckers, they're going to feel what we felt for years. Bills fans were like, oh, we sucked for so long, but we're back. And now the Patriots are going to, oh, they're back. Hey, I just want to remind people, okay? The Patriots this past draft, they didn't pick till 15. And there were teams that could have very well used quarterbacks. And I remember during the draft.
All of them.
I remember during the draft, I was watching these guys pick, and I was like,
Panthers?
They could use a quarterback. Yeah. The Falcons, like you picked Kyle Pitts, but Matt Ryan's 36 years old.
The Falcons could have had Mac Jones. The Panthers could have had Mac Jones. The Bears have Justin Fields, so like fine, but they could have had Mac Jones. Like, I do like Justin Fields though.
Is this a surprise though? Like before the draft happened, we heard from every analyst, we're like the most NFL ready quarterback is Mac Jones. Mm-hmm. And people are like, I don't think so. Well, turns out they were right.
Did no one? This is what gets me. Did no one watch any game from Alabama when he was like playing? He looked phenomenal. I don't care what the weapons. He was on point with everything. He barely missed throws. He's the most accurate passer in NCAA history, and he threw for the most yards in NCAA history that his senior year. Like, and he won a national championship. Why are we just downplaying all that?
He's thrown over 80% 2 games in a row against NFL football teams.
You got the best quarterback from the previous NCAA season, and everyone's like, nah, he's not ready. What? What do you mean he's not ready?
Listen, people are stupid.
He's playing for the most NFL-type offense possible in college football with Nick Saban. He goes out and just dominates everybody that year in college football. No one touched Bama that year. He won a national title. He's one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play college football. And you think he can't come into the pros and do it? In a very similar offense, mind you, to what Bama runs?
And they're doing all this without Jonnu Smith. I can't say that enough. Jonnu Smith hasn't even gotten going yet, and I still think he's going to get going.
Yeah,
you've got a run game.
They'll figure that out.
You've got a run game. You've got a great offensive line. You've got receivers who are working together.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's this week. They're playing the Titans. I wouldn't be surprised if he's involved a lot this week.
Oh, I guarantee they're game planning for. I guarantee the Patriots are game planning for that.
They're home, right? They're not in Tennessee though. They're home, right?
I thought they were in Tennessee. Oh no, they are home. They're at home. Sorry,
they're home. But I could see Jonnu having a big game this weekend. Like finally, he's been back a couple weeks playing. He's been good in the gadget game, right? Like he's quick enough out of the backfield. He's had some nice catches, but I could see him touchdown. Hunter Henry's going to get his, and that's just what he's designed to do. He's a pass catcher, and Mac loves him. But I could see Jonnu start to get a little more involved too this week. They need him. Well, no one. I mean, him and Kendrick Bourne. That's really it.
Yeah, let's wrap it up here with some quick Red Sox. Yeah.
Alex Cora's back. That's exciting.
Alex Cora, yeah, that's cool. Through 2024.
They picked up his 2-year options already. So that's good. Which no surprise, he earns it.
Listen, hey, I'm Bloom. Listen up, pal. I'm talking to my pink microphone. Extend Rafi.
Yeah, can we just talk about?
We don't ask too much, okay? We let you trade Mookie Betts.
I don't know if we let him trade Mookie.
Let it happen. Yeah, people forget, okay? It's already gone. It's already out of their minds.
Alex Verdugo fan club.
Rafi Devers is a treasure of Boston, okay? That's all we need. And then do your thing.
Are we gonna be mad if he doesn't do that this offseason? Like, are we gonna be upset if they go into spring training without a Rafi extension? They do other great things, right? Like they fill some needs. They're talking to Matt. They're talking to all these players. They're the interest kings again, right? Are we gonna be upset if Rafi Devers comes into spring training without the extension, but he makes the team better for 2022? No, because this team could actually win next year. They've proven that they're better than we all thought, and they have a chance to win. I want them to win. Figure it out. Rafi's not going anywhere. I don't think he wants to leave.
They're heavily involved. They're heavily involved in the middle infield market, which I love.
Which means they're trying to figure out the second base thing, whether it's Xander or someone else. They're trying to figure out the second base thing long term, because that means they tell you that Kike Hernandez is their center fielder. They don't want him playing second
as he
base.
Should be. As he fucking should be.
Yep.
And they're looking at utility guys like Chris Taylor, who was an all-star this year. Chris Taylor had an awesome season.
Would love Chris Taylor here.
I would too. I hate his batting stance. It looks wildly uncomfortable. But
he can play second base. He can play second base, right?
So here's my thing with Chris Taylor. He worries me because I'm worried that it was more like a contract year type of thing. You know?
I mean, there are other guys out there. Trevor Story. I know the Yankees
Trevor
have been linked to
Story.
him. Would love Trevor Story here.
The Yankees are linked out. Listen, hey, Yankees fans, I want you guys to understand this at this point. Nobody wants to play for you.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
You guys,
are you kidding me?
You guys are so obnoxious that other players are chirping you on Twitter. Marcus Stroman wants nothing to do with you.
Dude, imagine if Marcus Stroman came here.
Oh my God, it would be awesome.
He clearly hates the Yankees. So
that's somebody I would love to see the Red Sox pick up is Marcus Stroman.
Yeah, even just a 1-year deal, right? Make him prove it, and then do it from there.
I would love to see Marcus Stroman here.
Chris Sale, Marcus Stroman, Nate Eovaldi, Pivetta. That's a rotation right there.
Pivetta and rounded out
Tanner Houck,
Garrett Whitlock.
Tanner Houck, Whitlock, whoever you want. You can rotate those guys. I don't care.
Put one of those two in there. People forget. Like a lot of Red Sox fans don't realize this because Garrett
they need to replace Erod though. They need to replace Erod.
Yeah, Marcus Stroman.
No, they need a lefty.
Oh yeah, that's true. Look, Garrett Whitlock. A lot of Red Sox fans don't realize this because he came over from the Rule 5 draft from the Yankees. Suck it. Garrett Whitlock was a starting pitcher. He's a starting pitcher.
Yeah, and they still view him as the starting pitcher. Like I just don't think they just eased him into it last year. I think he's still a starter. That he said last year that he wants to be a starter. Like that guy's coming into the spring training in February as a starter.
I want to see bullpen. I want to see Chaim Bloom get some bullpen help. Look,
they've been linked to so many people. It's just they got. I know.
Well, that's what they do. They are the interest kings for a reason. I want to see bullpen help. I want to see a middle infielder, and I want to see a starter added to this team. We'll see. They're linked to Steven Matz too.
They look to Matz. They're linked to Familia from the Mets, right?
Yeah, Familia. Is Matz a lefty or righty? I'm blanking.
Matz is a lefty, I think.
Let me look that up when we're wrap.
They're talking about Matt's having a deal by like tomorrow, Wednesday.
Yeah, he wanted to be signed before Thanksgiving, didn't he?
Yeah, and there's a market for him. Red Sox are in. It sounds like, according to Chris Cotillo, or Cotillo, however he wants to say it. Cotillo. According to Chris Cotillo, they're not like super serious. Like they're in it, but they're probably not gonna get him. But there are so many options. I don't know.
He's a lefty.
I need bullpen help, and I need the middle infield figured out, whether that's Xander moving or not. That's what I need.
Yeah, I would like to see a starter, but I think starter honestly is like the bottom of the list for me. Although, honestly, you don't know what Chris Sale is going to look like when he comes back next year because he wasn't.
Yeah, but I think that's only going to go up. That's only going up though. Like I don't think he's going to regress.
He's getting older.
Yeah, no, but he's healthy though. Like he's just got to pitch more. I think he's fine. I would still bank on Chris. Now maybe he's not your number one consistently, but I still think he's valuable enough as one of your top 2 starters.
I would love it. I love Chris Sale. He was my favorite player in baseball before the Red Sox traded for him. I would love to see him get better, but I'm worried. But wrap it up, guys. Thank you to our sponsors and our friends over at MANSCAPED.com. Make sure you guys check out every podcast and blog on the CouchGuysSports.com network, the best in the biz. And once again, go to MANSCAPED.com. Use promo code CouchGuy20.
And CGSN for ShockedEnergy.com. Get that 10% off as well. Black Fridays. They got free shipping in the U.S. and overseas, I think. So do that.
Black Friday coming up. Make sure you guys check out their websites for their Black Friday deals.
Hey, and also happy Thanksgiving, bud.
Hey, happy Thanksgiving. We got football. One of the worst Thanksgiving games of all time. Tim Boyle versus Andy Dalton.
I think Jared Goff's playing. Still terrible game. Garbell football. I got Darnell Mooney playing on Thursday. I got to have Andy Dalton get a big game.
This might be the week the Lions get a win.
Maybe.
Matt Nagy's getting fired. He said that that's not true, but Matt Nagy's getting fired after this game.
Great. All right, we got to go. Let's wrap it up.
All right.
I can't talk about that game. If we're talking about that game, there's nothing else to talk about.
See you guys. Rate and subscribe. We'll talk to you next week.